my god. Okay, I'm on, and then I need this to be desktop audio. Oh my god. I'm so scuffed. I'm sorry. Okay, now you can hear us, and you can hear Lane.
That's what we needed. You missed all of my play-by-play casting. I'm so disappointed. My first time.
Maybe OBS updated? I really don't, or the patch and OBS anyway, welcome officially, ladies and gentlemen. We've been talking this whole time, and you haven't been able to hear us, and I'm so sorry. That would be why there has been nobody talking in the chat about anything. Yeah, fuck. It's first blood for Tendies in the top lane. That's a good start. Jesus Christ, there's so much to cover now.
It's all right. We'll figure it out.
Yeah.
What's good is Tendies does get that kill,
Oh,
and
Black
as we were
Salt's gonna
saying
hit the
earlier.
Zenith Blade in the Ignite, ticking down onto Mortels.
Oh no.
But he's taking too many tower shots. The counter Ignite. Oh, it just finishes him off. And Benthonic takes the kill for FTD. God, they could see me just sitting there on the stream on the webcam talking and couldn't. Oh my god. Samso has the 90 caliber net away. The taunt from Benthonic not going to land. Neither is the snare from Mortels. And meanwhile, mid lane Hokage is trading really well in the mid lane against LubeTech.
Yeah, staying very healthy on the Senna, definitely, or not Senna, on the Seraphine, definitely showing they know what they're doing, but Aikado's here for a gank. Just see if he goes in for it, waiting for the Leona probably.
Yeah, waiting for Leona. The 90 caliber net, the slow lands onto Mortels. That's a good snare. Black Salt going to hit the Zenith Blade and force the flash out of Mortels. So, at least something gained. The flash over the wall from mid lane Hokage, but our Arcanine Dan is on top of him, just beating him down with the treads, and that'll be the second kill of the game for FTD.
Yeah, and that's big too. Seraphine was really pushing in Ziggs there and gets punished for pushing in too far under tower. As we were saying earlier, but when you didn't get to hear us, I think it's really big for the ROTM comp that Tendies gets ahead, and him getting a solo kill all by himself is really, really big, especially in a counter matchup into the Jax.
It's kind of interesting that he held his teleport after his brief recall to get his Sheen. It means that he'll have it available to him, but right now he's actually down CS because of it, even after getting the solo kill. But look at the health bars. He is like very much threatening another solo kill, just has to try to navigate the counter-strike. There it is from Draga Kicks Ash. I haven't said his name yet. And the flash away from the precision protocol, but he's got the hook shot to follow, and Tendies, that's his second solo kill of the game. He's off to the races.
Yeah, and that is super big. With the shielding comp, they really need Tendies to get ahead and be the hyper carry that they need to win the game. So having already 2 solo kills is super big. Aikado gets a shield in there just to make sure he picks up an assist, goes back to farming those camps that he's set up, and is going to be moving towards the bot side. You have to think with teleport and early top advantage, that RTM might look to do something with that and go for this first dragon.
Yeah, I've never seen Aikado go for a first dragon in my life, but I understand where you're coming from.
He is an Ivern, though. We're not used to seeing that either, so.
Allegedly, jungle is doomed. Oh, Tendies blows his second Q into the counter-strike, and Draga gonna get a positive trade out of it, at least. But yeah, look at the CS lead right now for Samso in the bottom lane. That's, I think, the most impressive thing, is we haven't seen Samso and Black Salt really get ahead in most of the UML games, but just kind of flexing their muscles early. 16 CS advantage, and it looks like maybe a play going to be made bot by FTD. They're at least rotating down for the Scuttle Crab, and Tendies invests his teleport back to top lane. That's so much damage. He just needs to play around the counter-strike a little bit better. The ultimate pop from Draga as he's trying to duel this one out has the jump strike away. But Tendies is asserting his authority in the top lane.
Yeah, I mean, you've got the lead. You might just say to your team, hey, I can beat this guy 1v1. Let me just keep getting advantages by myself in top lane and not let him back into the game by TPing for an early Baron or Dragon.
Yeah, now Tendies roaming down, trying to look for the Spire, going to get chased off by the Skarner, but mid lane Hokage in a little bit of trouble. Eats the center of the Mega Inferno Bomb and a Bouncing Bomb to follow up for Lube Tech. So the Zig's doing pretty well in the mid lane, and that's a scary proposition. Maybe the one thing that could undo this comp is if one of those poke champions gets really far ahead.
Yeah, especially if they're able to land some skill shots in the later game. Those will start to hurt if you can't engage before the poke comes through. But Tendy's fighting 3v2 up here.
Yeah,
Gets
fighting
one.
3v2, already able to take down the Ziggs, looking for Loop Tech, trying to kite back out away from Arcanine Dan, but it's just not going to matter. That's a shutdown for the Skarner. And maybe not the champion that you wanted on, but the Skarner is going to be surprisingly large now. As Aikido walking in, has Daisy available if they're looking for a dive, but I think just going to take a couple of plates for this little bit of pressure.
I should have said the 3v1 there.
Yeah.
But Tendy's does get another kill for himself. Shutdown does go over. Skarner already going to be... We'll have to see what he goes for. I'm assuming it's going to be the Chem Tank, get that extra speed, and that comes through. So that's there early. That's a lot of extra pressure that you have on your jungler, able to just sprint into lane with a simple activation.
Yeah, and he's already almost halfway back up to that Impale cooldown. So we should see him probably look for a play in either mid or top lane and try to get one of those champions just feeling a little bit more comfortable. Although right now Loop Tech has his blue buff, he should be able to wave clear pretty much indefinitely. They're maybe looking for a play bottom. They're going to knock up Sam, so they've got him trapped. He is very dead as Mortels takes him down. Black Salt able to escape, and it is the teleport investment from the Ziggs. So pressure bottom for FTD, and maybe a dragon will result from that.
Yeah, I think RTM could have kind of felt that coming, knowing that Skarner just based and you're pushed up in your lane. And with the way the Galio was kind of motioning there, playing a little bit more forward, they did back up instinctively, but just didn't think that it was going all the way. Tendy's fighting under tower here.
Yeah, Draga is here. The charm over the wall from mid lane Hokage, and he'll take that kill. That's not even close. He'd already burned the Grandmaster at Arms, the ultimate ability, and just no defensive stats available for him. It isn't a huge lead yet, despite all of these solo kills. And he's got his teleport to come back to lane, so he's still not in the worst spot in the world, but very quickly falling behind Tendy's.
Yeah, the big thing is, as these kills stack up, the gold value for getting them is less and less. So Tendy's needs to start converting this into towers and roams here, getting kills and helping his other lanes out.
Yeah, now dodging out of the counter-strike, going to come in. The Mega Inferno Bomb is here. He plays the edge of that, uses the Hextech Ultimatum, finds the solo kill on the Jax, and he'll be able to walk out. Really well played by Tendy's. If you guys are subbed to the stream, we now have our Tendy's diff emote, as well as the Coggers emote available for spam, if that is the sort of thing that interests you. But 5-5 here early. Still the early going, about 11 minutes in. Just a small gold lead for RRTM.
Yeah, big thing in that top play is Lube Tech kind of misplaced his ult, just assuming Tenny's going to walk into it. Tenny's did a good job of avoiding it, using both his ultimate, but we're going to see a gank in the bot here.
And the pre-flash already for Sam, so Aikeido's here, the teleport being channeled as mid lane Hokage coming in, so all the shield's going to start to stack up. Arcanine Dan is separated from the rest of the team, rooted and taken down. Mid lane Hokage back to even now after a little bit of a rough early game.
Yeah, and that's really big for him to come in clutch there with the teleport and get his bot lane, avoid them from falling even further behind after the early attention from FTD Hotel. Rift Herald going to be dropped there too, and that's going to be a first turret, but Samso might get caught.
Ooh, Samso just able to get out of there with that 90 caliber net, but first turret in his pocket. He'll be feeling pretty strong. Let's actually take a look at the gold totals. About 1,000 gold lead for him, as well as already about 2,000 for Tendy's. That's actually more than I thought, given the... Oh, the CS has opened up. Never mind. They were even in CS prior to that last back, and now Draga having a lot of difficulty trying to keep even.
Yeah, and it's actually so surprising how much damage Tendy's is doing, even with his non-empowered Q. With that Sheen proc, just getting about an eighth of Jax's health for free there. Now with Ivern up here, it's going to be really hard.
Yeah, now with the shield coming in, Daisy... Actually, that wasn't Daisy that got called in. It was just the The root. There's so many different roots in the game. I can't think of the name of it. But God, it's such an important ability. Anyway, I'll think of it later. Black Salt gonna get taunted up by Benthonic. I don't think that they can really find a play here, although Arcanine Dan is very fast. Andy's got the Impale, gonna pull back in Black Salt, but mid lane Hokage from the side. The Charm not really doing a whole lot for mid lane Hokage, and doesn't have the damage really to follow up. The Ace in the Hole just going to be mildly annoying to make them disengage.
It's the root collar, by the way.
Root collar. He literally calls the root. That's fair.
Yeah. RTM is not much without Tendies. A lot of the gold lead is on him. And Seraphine doesn't bring a lot of damage to the table, but Tendies trying to find something under the turret here and just continuing to pressure.
That was really weird. That looked like he was almost trying to damage with his E, the way he flew in, but not able to find that, unfortunately. Samso kind of continuing the assault here in mid lane. They've already got two turret plates for themselves. About 15 seconds until those drop off, though. And taking a look across the board, the double Moonstone Renewer for Aikedo and mid lane Hokage. The power spike is here, only kind of countered by Lubtech now as he finishes up the Leandri's Anguish.
Yeah, and the Moonstone was nerfed a little bit, but having two of them definitely helps, especially with this powered up Camille. You've got 4 kills already for Tendies. As we transition to the mid game here, it's going to be really interesting to see how they choose to use Tendies. We'll see if they try to use him as like a split pusher and say, hey, you can't mess with me, or they'll bring him to team fights and empower him up.
Yeah, now 15 seconds left on the Mountain Dragon spawn. I'm curious if RTM has a lot of priority on that. Again, they're very strong right now with 4 completed Mythics, 2 Moonstones, and even extra things in the pocket attendees, so they can definitely scrap if it comes down to that. It looks like FTD going to make, I think, the wise play in my estimation. Going to steal away some of the jungle camps of Aikedo up in that blue side and just kind of give up the second dragon.
Yeah, I think that's completely fine, especially with Tendies as strong as he is and knowing that he's probably on his way there. There's really no reason to fight that. Let's just keep getting farm on this Jax, let him kind of get solo XP and some farm without getting pressured in that top lane so he can hopefully scale enough to be useful.
Now, I am kind of interested in this particular lane setup. Do you think that Tendies... I don't know, I'm going to ask this. Do you think Tendies can find a solo kill onto Lubtech? Anyway, Bentonic's not going to give us any time to think about that as he goes in, gets the big taunt Black Salt with a nice solar flare to try to disengage. Where's the rest of the damage coming from, though, from ROTM? Samso still kiting back out. They're trying to turn this back around. Daisy knocks up Mortels, has to force the cleanse, and the Zenith Blade going to land. They just don't have any damage. They're going to pull Black Salt back into the turret. He's taken low. He's saved by the Ivern. Oh, just dies to the turret shot. They trade 1 for 1. Tendies went in on Lubtech in the bottom lane and actually comes out a little bit worse for wear because of it. But Samso, mid lane Hokage, and Aikedo will be able to force down this mid lane turret and perhaps get a second even.
Yeah, and that was really big for RTM. In a numbers disadvantage, 3v4 there, was able to just pull off enough damage, trade 1 for 1, but then at the end, they get that tower, and they're gonna get more damage on the second tower as well. So RTM turning that around beautifully. A lot invested there. The Skarner ult, the Galio ult, trying to get a kill in that mid lane to no avail until ROTM decided to re-engage.
Yeah, unfortunately, it does kind of highlight the issue of the comp where without Tendies, there's just not that a big chunk of damage coming through. It's all kind of minor bits and bops, at least until Samso can get a couple more items underneath his belt. But yeah, feeling pretty good. But take a look across the inventory now. The Blade of the Ruin King finished up for Draga. You have the Bramble Vest on Arcanine Dan, and that's going to be a tough Skarner to deal with, honestly.
Yeah, I think if you're Tendies, after you're already up so far, you've got 2 items already. You need to start thinking about that QSS, because if they are able to just immobilize you and you're the one of the 2 damage dealers, um, it's really easy to pick a target on who you want. And he's so far ahead already that you usually get set behind by spending that 1,300 gold on the QSS. But he's just so far ahead it doesn't matter. So should go ahead and look to pick that up next here. We'll have to see what he decides to do.
Yeah, would also like to see one on Samso before too long. Just
Mhm.
you got to pay your taxes, as we found out on the LEC and LCS streams the past couple of weeks. Um,
Yeah.
but for now, gonna be Sheila being targeted for RTM. Sending all 4. This is a pretty, big investment, but they don't have anything that they're really missing out on at the time. So, understandably so, they'll be able to grab that and should be able to chunk through one of these inner turrets. And I really like this. Sometimes we'll see Tendies overextend in these situations, but look at how respectfully he's playing right now. He knows that the only play that FTD Hotel could be looking for is a dive on him, and he backs all the way back up to mid lane. I'm proud of him. That's evolution as a player right there.
It is. Yeah, definitely from games that we've seen of him having casted a lot. Usually you'd see him trying to go for that solo kill, but backing up, knowing his team's just going to secure the Rift Herald, and then they just have no play. They don't get any advantage. FTD Hotel doesn't get any advantage at all. We'll just have to see if he's back up here again. They're spending a lot of time around Tendies.
Yeah, he can feel it though. I think he's sniffing it out the way that he's been reacting to this, and I'm honestly impressed, right?
Mhm.
Tendies has the mechanicals. He hits the button, which is really good. But it's these situations where sometimes he overextends, he gets caught, and if he can incorporate some more of that into his game, boy, LCS might be calling him. Like he hits the button so good.
Yep.
Mid lane
we'll have
Hokage
to
and Draga
see.
going to trade flashes here. Jack's still continuing to chase down with a little speed boost might be enough. Oh, they're going to invest the Impale, but the teleport coming in. It's going to just teleport Tendies into the 1v3. Into a 1v4 even. So this is a good play, but Aikedo is here. They're turning it back around. Draga taken low, taken down by Aikedo. Ivern Gaming at its finest. Tendies goes in. This is a little bit too ham, though. Hitting his buttons maybe a little too aggressively. Now Aikedo in trouble, forced to back away, but Samso just layering in with some of those auto attacks from this side. It's 3v4 on the map, but right now FTD not feeling confident enough to really push their advantage. Maybe now that they're shrouded, looks like everybody gonna head back to mid lane for some reason at the end of this.
Yeah, Aikedo doesn't die there, so it's really hard to go for like a big objective like Baron, but we may see them transition here to the Dragon as they're already walking that way.
Black Salt maybe caught just a little bit. Impale on cooldown, luckily. Otherwise, Arcanine Dan might have been able to get in there. Draga uses his teleport off of the respawn as he heads back in. Still Samso, Black Salt, and Aikedo are here. Mid lane Hokage able to join from the side, but it's still 4v5 on the map right now as Tendies is just now getting into the picture. Shelly unfortunately dropped. I think he was trying to ward, and they're going to have to give up that dragon.
Yeah, I would have loved to see RTM just kind of give that up, especially after you see the Jax TP go. I mean, you already invested your TP top lane trying to get that kill with Tendies going in. I would have loved to see them just maybe rush mid with the Herald and get that tower, but they're actually just going to go right onto the Baron.
Yeah, they're just starting Baron. I don't know if FTD... Oh, they know. Okay, the Mega Inferno Bomb coming through, but they're trying to just chunk through. They're not really taking damage from it, luckily, so they can tank this pretty much indefinitely. Now looking to peel off. Draga kicks Ashes here from the side. Mortels with some auto attacks. The Charm across the gap doesn't connect. Baron low, down to 1,500 health. Aikedo still auto attacking it. He's able to smite it away. Big snare from mid lane Hokage. Loop Tech is down on the backside as Tendies has jumped in. He gets impaled, though, and they'll trade 1-for-1 on the second engagement. Black Salt flashes forward, hits the stun. Mortels is revealed to his team because he's in there. Ace in the whole channel. Not quite going to be able to take him down, but Black Salt hits the Zenith Blade. And they find the Baron and 3 kills on the backside of that. What a fight for ROTM.
Yeah, what a ballsy call there from RTM. Able to pick up the Baron in a very hotly contested area, but ends up also getting the fight at the backside of that. Tendies finding a really nice engage onto Lube Tech on the Ziggs, basically one-shotting him and trading his life, and the sustain from ROTM just able to win the day for them as they get this Baron here. 5k gold lead, looking to reset and push with this Baron advantage.
Okay, everyone, listen up. Return of the Middlesticks is going to hop off their post, walk out of the cornfield, and caw on your asses. Y'all ever experienced a deep suck? Well, you're about to get the slurp of a lifetime from the RTM squad. I know what I'm talking about, too, since my name is Liposuction Lane. Then, after we have drained all your life juice, our Crowstorm will come down and eat your life as carcasses. Caw, caw, caw. Oh, that was a bad one. I'm sorry. Hashtag ROTM fighting.
I see the redeem is coming in.
Yeah, can you confirm that they might experience the deepest of sucks?
Well, after that last fight, it definitely seems like it. So they're splitting up here 4-1. Camille's going to bring up the wave. We'll have to see if Skarner lets them do that, though.
That chunk actually wasn't as big as I thought it was. They're going to be able to get the Impale onto mid lane Hokage, but he gets his charm off. He's in the Zanyas. He is dead. He is very dead. Tendies has no ability to join this fight, so it's just going to be the disengage, kind of poking around. They're made to find Arcanine Dan, but Samso just isn't quite in range to deal the damage in this fight. Draga jumps onto him. They're looking for Black Salt. There's so many shields. They trade back. They're able to take down the Skarner, and they'll find the Senna as well. Double kill for Samso. Draga steps on a trap. In comes Tendies looking for the cleanup. Oh, dodges the Justice Punch, and it's a triple kill for Samso. Tendi's still feeling it. Doesn't have his ultimate available. Ace in the hole over the top. Has the tactical sweep just to try to equalize that trade. But the triple kill for Samso, they chase down, they win that fight all of a sudden.
Yeah, it's just disgusting how much the shielding is making a difference in these team fights. You've got, even with Seraphine just dying right at the very start of that, the Ivern shielding is able to keep the Leona alive for so long, making her so much tankier than she already is. And RTM's able to outlast in a numbers disadvantage, and Tendi shows up and they get the mid lane inhibitor.
I really liked that immediately mid lane Hokage demonstrated. He had the Staff of Flowing Water finished off of his teleport. Any other champion teleports into that wave and gets hit by the Mega Inferno Bomb, but he hit his W and just kind of zipped past it and still had like a second or two on the other side to wait for it.
Yep.
So really appreciated that immediate showing of it. Tendi says to teleport up. Dragon spawning here in 45 seconds. It's not the most important dragon for either side, honestly. Like, might be nice to get onto Soul Point, but I think that FTD Hotel has bigger issues, and it's only a second dragon for RTM, so they might just want to use it to try to bait and see if they can get a fight out of it. Not really sure what their plan is, but it's a weird setup right now.
I do have to appreciate that mid lane Hokage and Aikido elected to go different second items to buff their carries up. A lot of times you just kind of get stuck in, oh, I build Moonstone, I build this item next, and you keep building that, but we're going to see it engage here on the Jax.
Yeah, Jack's still looking to scrap with Black Salt for some reason. That was a very strange little fight, and Black Salt actually, I think, won that trade, all things considered, in health percentage. But now Dragon going to be started up. Tendies is here to just solo clear this top wave. Needs to be a little bit careful as Arcanine Dan is in the wings, uses the Impale. They're actually going to blow all of these global ults. He has the hookshot just to get out, and he's fine. Impale and Heroic Entrance down. Dragon secured for RTM, and they can continue pushing on the bottom side. Maybe looking for Draga on their Solar Flare. Ooh, forces the flash.
Yeah, and they just, FTD Hotel just cannot find a fight that wins for them, but Tendies might give it to him right here.
Yeah, Tendies is, I think, trying to stop the back so that they can continue the push. He's got the hookshot back out. The Ignite not quite going to take him down. Arcanine Dan is very fast, though. Will be able to get the shutdown, but has enabled ROTM to get at least a little of... Oh, nope, never mind. They just got that inner tower. That probably wasn't worth it then.
No, there's no wave there, and they have Ziggs, so that just waves clears super big. So it's going to be a kill on Tendies and the top lane tower going down. So RTM obliges to get FTD Hotel a little advantage here, but they're going to tank this cannon.
Yeah, trying to tank for the cannon minion. Black Salt goes in. Mid lane Hokage throws out the Encore. They'll get the snare down, the Ignite ticking. He's going to be able to get away. Draga shows up just to try to defer everything. Black Salt taking tower. That's not going to quite end well for him as the Mega Inferno Bomb over the top. So RTM overstaying their welcome a little bit here on the bottom side of the base. Samso still forward. Oh, the Zephyr plus the... How did that auto go through the?
Yeah, that's he's pinging it. His E is on cooldown, and he's pinging it. It must be a bug with Gale Force. There's no other way. His Shinshin is rolling over in
Yeah,
his
right
respective
through the
grave.
counter strike right there. um,
Yeah.
Oh man.
Oh no. That's so sad.
Like I
Well,
was looking if something else had buffed him up. Does Seraphine doesn't give extra damage with her shield?
no, like it was very clearly an auto attack. I mean, maybe the Gale Force.
It looked like
Oh,
the
maybe
Gale
it's
Force.
just the Gale Force. Maybe it's just that. Maybe it looked like an auto.
Well, I
Because you
thought the
do
Gale
some
Force had
damage
hit
with the
for.
Gale Force.
We'll have to take a look at that, but yeah.
It is 3 missiles, so I don't know if it
It's
sends it
3
in
missiles?
3. Yeah,
Oh.
it fires 3 missiles. So I don't know if it never looks like 3 missiles when you're seeing it on
Yeah,
screen,
it always
but
looks like one. Yeah, maybe that's
Right.
what happened. Anyway, Baron started up. Ziggs is throwing bouncing bombs over the wall. It's already down to 1k health. Arcanine Dan's in the pit. He's able to get the steal. What a play by this Skarner, but is it going to cost them? Tendies is onto the backline, still looking for a little bit more. He's onto Mortels, has already taken him down. Looking for Loop Tech, but dancing around. Teleport over the wall so Midlane Hokage can join the fight. Double kill for Tendies. Still looking for a little bit more. Draga and Loop Tech trying to get back to their base, back to safety. And it's the triple kill for Tendies. He's over the wall, looking for more. The teleport being channeled. It's interrupted by this solar flare. That'll eventually be a quadra kill, I'm sure. That's just going to launch him straight up in the air? Yeah. Not the quadra kill. That actually bought enough time. But it's the Bud Light Ace for Return to the Middlesticks. They're wailing away on the Nexus turrets, and now they're not because the inhibitor respawned. And now they're wailing away on the Nexus turrets. Arcanine Dan gonna respawn. We'll see if he can make anything happen. Gonna pull Tendies into the fountain and get another shutdown. But Nexus being hit, we learned from the gold team this week to do that. And ROTM gonna take number 1.
Yeah, RTM, they're going for the Baron, but they say, we don't care about this Baron. We just care about killing you. And rolls over FTD Hotel there with a really nice performance from Tendies. Just dominated from basically minute 1 and was able to convert with his shielding comp, even though he didn't pick up the QSS.
Yeah, I'm trying to see if I can get my regular game overlay to work really quick, is what I'm doing on stream.
Mhm.
I can't. Okay, so it's actually just League that's fucked. Nice. All right. Well, we'll be back in just a second with game number 2. So don't go anywhere. ROTM on match point against FTD Hotel. Yeah, I'm glad that everything broke before this cast, and I had no idea about it.
Yeah, I don't know if it's just like Riot did something with capture or what, but it's a little weird.
Yeah. Give me just 1 second. All right. Sorry about that.
No worries.
Yeah, I hate this because I really like.
Windowed.
Well,
Or
I can't
borderless.
use windowed because it has I don't know, it just bothers me way too much.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
have to flip it back and forth often. But yeah, like I don't know why borderless doesn't work anymore. That's why borderless exists, is so that it would work in that situation, right?
Right. I mean, I don't know. when I was doing the screenshotting, it just like randomly broke on patch 11.3. Was working completely fine for a couple patches, and we didn't have any code changes or anything, so I'm not sure.
Yeah, I know that. Um, um, sorry, I'm getting the prodraft open. I follow like skin spotlights on Twitter, and
Hmm.
they always complain about like just random patches will just break things, and I don't think
Right.
I've casted a game yet this patch, so that might be the case. Is just this patch for some reason broke borderless in OBS for some reason. Like,
Yeah, I also know that this patch, I don't know if anybody's seen the giant like reconnect quit buttons
yeah,
that show up.
I have
Those
seen
are
that.
hilarious. So something's going on over at Riot.
I wonder if I could do it with a game capture. I've never used like the actual just it says game
Mhm.
capture interface. I guess I could.
I've used it before. It can be a little weird sometimes, but usually it does pretty well.
I mean, it can't be any worse than just literally not capturing the thing that it's trying to capture, right?
True.
I didn't like this champ select music very much. Kinda let me down. Not gonna lie. There's like just a takeover instrumental version that they used as
Mhm.
champ select music. It's okay. But yeah, it would be nice to have that all figured out before tomorrow. I don't think that's gonna happen. Cause yeah, now it's just a monitor capture, which like downside is that if I like alt tab or look at something, like it could kick to my either my desktop screen, or you can see like the alt tab icons. It's kind of annoying that way.
Mhm. In other news, CLG Academy lost in the first Tier 1 tournament today.
That wouldn't surprise me at all.
Well, it wouldn't surprise me, but most of the players have played on the actual LCS stage because RGS was playing, Wiggly was playing.
They didn't have Hobelter playing?
No, so I don't know if they're switching them out or he's just getting both spots of time. I'm not sure, but
Well, welcome back,
anyway.
ladies and gentlemen. Picks and bans for game number 2. Return to the Middlesticks on match point, looking to take home a 2-0 victory for the first time this season. That would be cool. And for FTD Hotel, of course, just trying to hang on. Oh my god.
Sorry, I cut you off, but just it's too funny to see the triple ban coming out after that game 1 performance.
Yeah, apparently Tendies was an issue. The Camille, Riven, and Irelia taken off the table with their first wave of bans, and Anivia Bard Olaf taken away from Return to the Middlesticks. FTD gets Udyr, though. That's the best jungler in the patch.
Yeah, very strong jungler. Kind of the same idea as the Skarner, but maybe does it a little bit better because you clear a little bit faster. But that does mean they are going to give over the Rel, which they banned in game 1. So we'll have to see Blacksaw on the Rel pick. Haven't seen him on it yet, so pretty exciting.
Yeah, always cool to see Blacksaw bring out some new champions. Let's see what they want to pair with the Rel, or if this will be a jungle answer. They're not forced into taking a jungler just yet. They could use it R3 if they wanted to, but it's going to be Ivern.
Yeah. And with Middlesticks being on red side here, I do expect Tendies to get this third pick here so that they can ban out anything he's worried about. And he's already got 3 bans against him. But we'll have to see what they decide to pick up here.
Gragas is an interesting pick. So that means it's not jungle. So still could be top or support. They're going to grab a Senna as well, which feels like kind of the de facto strongest AD carry right now.
Yeah, I would agree. There's kind of a shakeup in the ADC meta after the last couple patches. Kai'Sa was the strongest, but a little bit of a nerf to her. Still pretty decent on the patch and definitely something Samsa's comfortable on. Kind of surprised that we didn't get to see Tendies get a pick right there.
I'm a little worried about that one because now we could definitely just see them go for a quintuple ban on Tendies if they wanted to. And I mean, right now, like if you're thinking his champion pool specifically, you got Jax, you got Akali, you got, what else has he been playing recently? Lucian?
He's got Aatrox, Lucian, Callista. But it's definitely not, the stuff that is the primordial power 4. They still haven't banned the Jax away, so we'll have to see if that's what they decide to do for the last ban.
Yeah, that feels like the the big dick energy move, right? You just beat the Jax and then you take it and beat them with it.
Right. Beat him with his own lantern.
Yeah, Ziggs and Alistar being taken away, so that signals that RTM thinks that it's the Gragas top lane, which makes it even more interesting that we don't see a lock-in to try to counter the Gragas initially, right? Anyway,
Yeah.
the double ban on mid lane Hokage, though, taking away his Orianna and Galio, and yeah, this is an interesting pick. It could just be Seraphine, right? Go back to basically the same style that they just played with, and then leave counter pick for Tendies, or flop down the Jax and then give mid lane Hokage a counter. Ooh. Syndra's been pretty popular recently, and mid lane Hokage Syndra is very good. I really enjoy watching it, so excited to see that.
Yeah, and definitely gives them a little bit more damage than they had in the last game. More lanes they can play around. Ultimately, we'll have to see what Tendies decides to go, but we know it's damage, and we know that much, so...
Yeah, I don't know that he's ever played a tank game in his life. Maybe in an ARAM randomly. But...
I seem to remember a story about Tendies where his mom made him wash his mouth with soap every time he said the word tank, so...
Seraphine locked in for FTD. Again, kind of keeps the flex alive. We'll see what this last pick is. We could see kind of a really wild swap of compositions from FTD. Or, not compositions, but like placements on the map, flex picks. Yeah, Lucian really doesn't clear anything up. Alright.
Yeah.
Choose your own adventure lanes for FTD Hotel. I'm like 90% sure that Udyr's jungle, right?
We got that one, maybe.
Senna's probably bottom lane. Could be the support, could be the carry, who knows. But like Senna Seraphine sounds pretty nasty, and then Lucian mid with Gragas top. Lucian, I think, it does pretty well into Syndra, so that is probably a consideration. Gnar. Have you seen Tendies play Gnar?
I have not, but, Gnar's a good pick. It's a good champion in the meta.
Yeah, it's pretty good into Gragas, and it can deal with Lucian if that's the top lane.
Right.
What a mess of a composition. Yeah, let's see what happens with this FTD draft. They have some mind games they can play, for sure.
The drawback to picking in on Pro Draft is that usually you select your own champions, so you kind of give yourselves away, but we'll have to see if they decide to switch it up just for the tactical advantage.
Yeah, worth noting, you don't have to pick it in the order. That's not a necessity, especially in Upsurge. But yeah, this is In game one, you guys missed just a ripping logo critique of Feed the Dream during game
Well,
number one. I'm gonna
not a
actually bring up.
critique. It was good props.
Yeah.
We liked it.
I am gonna bring up the standings again and actually just kind of repeat myself from what we said, because I think that that's actually important to go over. And then I just put that immediately in the wrong location. All right, cool. Give me another second. But we'll put these standings up on the stream. The only thing that's going to be off is now our team will have one more game score. So technically we'll be on 6 game score rather than 5. But other than that, everything else should be correct on these standings, up to date, up to the second standings. But yeah, you can see the issue with sitting here at 2-1. We can wind up with a 3-way tie at either 3-2 or 2-3, depending on how the rest of the split goes. And important things to note: ATK mode's single win is over the University of Michigan. They still have games against FTD Hotel and OTA Storm, so it's almost likely that they'll wind up 3-2 on the season, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's likely.
I think that kind of covers everything that we had really talked about. We went into some more specifics. So ROTM's path to the playoffs. Again, playoffs are top 3. Only the top seed gets a bye, and then the second and third teams will play in the first round. It's a 24-team bracket. Kind of nonsense, honestly. So Johnson and Wales' loss is to the University of Michigan. Also worth noting, the first tiebreaker is game score, and then the second tiebreaker is head-to-head. Now that I've covered all of that, our team's path to the playoffs, they need to win tonight. Doesn't matter, 2-0, 2-1, and then they need to take a single game off of the University of Michigan, and they'll be on 8 game score, which can't be matched by, which can be matched by ATK Hotel and University of Michigan, but in that case, they would only be head-to-head tied with ATK mode. They'd be tied on game score, and they'd be ahead in the head-to-head, so they'd make playoffs. So, yeah, that's the desperation scenario, is win tonight, and then a 2-1 loss tomorrow would get us into playoffs. Ideally, of course, would be some 2 wins, and then we'd be in the running for the number 1 seed, which probably wouldn't get because we lost head-to-head to Johnson and Wales, but yeah, there's scenarios. You can see the math churning in Lane's head right now.
Yeah, hopefully RTM takes care of business here in the second game and puts another notch on their belt on the way to playoffs before their last matchup tomorrow.
Yeah, and we'll have that game live here on stream. I'm going to have... Oh, I need to check and make sure I have a co-caster tomorrow. That might be important.
I think I could cast tomorrow too. So if you need it, I'm here.
I was gonna ask. I had Scattercat, one of my friends, lined up to do Monday, and then of course we didn't have the game because of a family emergency for University of Michigan's top laner. Hopefully everything resolved itself there. I don't have any info about it, but yeah, I was going to ask if he wanted to do Wednesday. He had first dibs, and he said he was going to let me know tonight, and then has not let me know yet. So I'm going to message him really quick while we're loading up. Again, this is game number 2 of this series. RTM leads 1-0 right now on match point. Can send us home early tonight, which would be nice. Give me a little bit of extra sleep, just in case we go late tomorrow.
Yeah, and RTM famously, so far this split, has gone to 3 games every time, so... Hopefully, a nice 2-0 would be good. We are going to see Tendies on... The first time I've seen him on Gnar, he's not unfamiliar with range top lane matchups, so the pick is very strong in the meta. It's a good pick, especially into what seems to be the Gragas. We had the black curtain of unknown about FTD Hotel's draft, but it looks like it's going to be that Gragas top lane, Lucian mid, and Seraphine support. So
I am curious who's farming in the Senna Seraphine lane. That's something that I really want to keep an eye on. Um, and then I don't know. I almost liked a different orientation of their composition better than this one. Not gonna lie. With like I think they get better lane matchups if they put the Gragas bottom, because Gragas
Hmm.
has an ability to interrupt Rel and Seraphine doesn't. And then you could throw the Seraphine mid, Lucian top, and I think you get better matchups across the board almost. But uh, the way that they're set up currently, they've got double ranged bottom, which will be super annoying if Samso and Blacksalt can't deal with that well. And then they have their counter pick mid lane, right? The Lucian into the Syndra. And it just means that Gragas is going to have a little bit harder time, I think, in the top lane than otherwise noted. But it's interesting, right? What these two compositions are looking to do.
Yeah, I think the key for the RTM bot lane against that double ranged comp is that you want to engage with Rel before you get poked out. They're not going to have pressure in this early lane. Probably let Kaisa farm up to that first half item before looking to really punish the Senna and Seraphine. They will be trying to punish you. So if they can just stay ahead or even in farm, I think that's a big success for them, especially in this first like 5 minutes or so. So I think that'll be the key thing to watch as we get into game here.
I had one other thing I wanted to set up. Oh well, whatever. YOLO. Swag. Oh, I needed to choose the outcome prediction, which nobody voted on. And then I'm not going to bother with the second one this time. That's okay. All right, I need to turn off the music, and then we can look at this game. All right. So, welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Summoners Rift for game number 2. On the blue side of the Rift, wearing the blue health bars for the game will be FTD Hotel, and in the top side, wearing the red health bars, will be Return of the Middlesticks, looking to close out the series. Do you think FTD has what it takes to feed their dream and advance here?
Yeah, we'll have to see. They didn't fill me with confidence after the first game performance, mostly because top lane just fell apart. But the triple ban for top lanes definitely put Tendies on something that we haven't seen him on a lot. So I think that has to be a big advantage for FTD Hotel. Definitely a change up from what we saw in game 1. If you're drafting against RTM, I'd be pretty happy if you have Tendies on something that I have not seen him on. So
Yeah, and I really want to watch the mid lane, honestly. Mid lane Hokage fell a little bit behind early on, and if he does that to a Lucian, I think that it's going to be a very difficult game for him. But on the same time, if he can navigate the lane well, it'll be really cool to see him on something with some damage for a change and see if he's got the chops back to throw in a nice carry performance. Arcanine Dan going to start his blue buff. Ivern just marking some camps and heading around as you would expect. I know that Aikato's favored this matchup a little bit for it's at least something playable into Udyr, which I think a lot of jungle champions just aren't right now. Look at this wave management though from Tendies. He's getting the shove in on Drago while trying to force him off the minions. I think he made him miss an experience. Not 100% sure on that. Oh, midlane Hokage has to be careful. Yeah, that's going to be a good trade for Lube Tech, but gonna hit the level 2 first. I guess see what he can get done with those hyper procs.
yeah, taking some extra damage from the minions there because he's past the minion wave. But I think what's really big here for ROTM as we started talking about that bot lane, as we came into game, is because they didn't have to leash Ivern and the bot lane for FTD Hotel did, they didn't actually get to use their ranged advantage because ROTM was already on the wave to start. Now they're starting to use it as that wave kicks back, but it let them play a little bit safer than they would have otherwise.
Yeah, and you can see that it's like the lane's kind of equalized, maybe softly shoving now into ROTM, but this
Mhm.
isn't a terrible spot early on. Like already at this point against the double range lane, you'd expect Samso and Blacksalt just to be underneath tower hating it. But that does unfortunately set them up for some ganks potentially. And yeah, Motels and Benthonic kind of telegraphing this. Aikedo even able to get out of dodge after he takes the Scuttle Crab, and they'll see the Scrying Orb being taken.
Yeah, that's very scary for Aikedo, especially with Lucian as shoved up as he was. Could have very easily been rotated on, but just kind of dodges vision there, luckily enough for him. They weren't able to find him and get an advantage off of that.
Yeah, I think he'll feel pretty fortunate now to come away with the Scuttle Crab for himself and stay relatively even in camps with an Udyr early on. Of course, has to be the one camp behind because you can't full clear your jungle as Ivern for some reason. But already going back and buying the Ionian Boots of Lucidity, and he'll feel at least a little bit better because Udyr can be a menace early on.
Oof.
That's a huge chunk of damage on the Blacksalt, though.
Yeah, and that's the double range advantage there. One stun just setting up the combo for Seraphine to take advantage of. Lot of damage going on to Black Salt, and he's got 2 potions to help mitigate some of that, but I expect that they'll just kind of shove in this wave and then look to reset so that he can reclaim some of his health.
I like the triple biscuit synergy from FTD Hotel. That feels pretty good.
3 lanes, triple biscuit. There you go.
But yeah, kind of a quieter early game. We'd already had a handful of kills at this point in game number 1, or maybe I was still trying to figure out the game capture, so I didn't know. Samso going to get ignited though, stunned onto Benthonic as they're trying to turn that one back around. Samso has to be very careful. Flash forward from Motels. They should be able to finish him off. The flash bear slap, and game 1 right there for FTD Hotel. They'll be able to take down Black Salt as well. Who are they going to give the kill to? It looks like Motels will pick that one up, and the bot lane off to a really good start for FTD.
Yeah, and that's really big. And that's kind of the second time in 2 games that we've seen the RTM bot lane get punished for being up that far.
Oh,
See
Tendies has to be really careful.
lane.
Oh, the auto! Draga gets the solo kill on Tendies, and already it's kind of gone all wrong for ROTM. They're already 2,000 gold behind.
Yeah, that's really big. Our Tendi's just not as comfortable on the Gnar pick there. Took a lot of extra damage from the minions, and Gragas with the grass proc, or not the grass proc, but with his passive, is able to heal through the little last tick of Gnar damage there, and ends up getting the solo kill.
Yeah, that being said, it's not Dunzo as much as we're making it out to be. ROTM scales pretty well, so they can play a little bit more defensive. They have the Seeker's Arm Guard now for mid lane Hokage. I really like that pickup against the Lucian lane. So yeah, I think it's going to have to be a little bit slower of a game from ROTM than we saw in game number 1. And Aikedo going to find Arcanine Dan here, and also be found himself by the really annoying Oracles.
Now, it is interesting. Gragas decides to go for the Seeker's Arm Guard. So we're going to see an AP Gragas in this top lane instead of the tank Gragas, which I think might have served them a little bit better.
Yeah, I don't know how much value they're going to have out of that. They really need something frontline, otherwise their team fight is strictly worse. This is kind of an interesting change up. So RTM falling behind a little bit in the early game, and they're going to be the ones to take the dragon, which I don't have the timer up for, but it's an infernal dragon, so that'll be a nice little boost early on here. Oh, loop tech! Ooh. Oh, the solo kill for mid lane Hokage! He has come to... I was going to make a Naruto joke, and I just don't have it in me. I'm sorry. Tendies is able to escape the gank in top lane. Flash is traded by the 2 top laners.
Yeah, really nice play there from mid lane Hokage. Ends up getting the solo kill, which is different than what we saw in game 1. Very well played there, flashing in for that extra auto. And is the shining star for RTM in this game so far. They really needed that to put themselves in a little bit better spot.
Yeah, and if nothing else, it just feels better, right? If your lane's not going well, just to see a teammate's kill come up, like, we got something going at least, right?
Yeah.
Because as we highlighted, this early game is going to kind of be rough. Like there should be two counter matchups. That Tendy's falling behind is a little bit worrying, but he should be able to at least pick up some farm. And if Drega's gonna commit to full AP, I think that the Gnar will be significantly more useful coming around to team fight time.
Yeah, I agree. And I'm also kind of surprised that he decides to go for the Seeker's Arm Guard as the first pickup. I understand that you want to kind of mitigate some of the auto attack damage that Tendies is putting down, but the W proc from Gnar is AP damage, so you don't get the armor that you usually would get.
Seraphine's starting to chunk. Yeah, that's a lot of
Oof.
damage onto Samso. He's having trouble stepping up into the minion wave. Still up CS, though, so doing a really good job as Loop Tech and mid lane Hokage exchanging pleasantries. Udyr just running around. Senna ult going to come through mid and top lane, kind of at a really good time for the mid lane Hokage trying to kite back out. Going to get stunned up, hits the stun in return, but the dot damage from the Tiger stance is enough to take him down. Samso flies in. They're looking for Motel, but the Encore comes through, trying to turn this one back around. Motel's is so low, but they can't quite finish him off. Now they do with an Aikido auto. Black Salt coming in with the Magnet Storm will find the trade kill, but it's a double kill for Benthonic on the Seraphine, and now Aikedo's in trouble as he's starting to scrap with Arcanine Dan, and this is not a fair fight. Oh, maybe it is because he's got the flash over the thick part of the wall. He's actually out of there. Good for him.
Yeah, able to get away with the flash. Does kind of help. RTM does get the kills, but not probably onto the targets that they want. Ends up being 2 for 2, so not the worst, but definitely not in a great position for RTM after that.
Yeah, it's going to be tough for Samso, I think, until he finishes off that Gale Force. And still a ways away from that, as Tendy's about to get real angry here in the top lane. I don't think he can do anything with his Gnar show, but, you know, staking himself out to a 10 CS lead is at least respectable. We kind of have to keep an eye on Arcanine Dan and that growing jungle CS discrepancy. About 20 now. This isn't any fault of Aikedo's, of course. It's just the matchup. You just cannot farm as fast as Udyr as Ivern. It's just not going to happen.
Luckily for Ivern, you don't need to farm as fast, just because to be effective, all you really need to do is get your Moonstone. But
Mid lane Hokage gonna get flash bear slapped into a snare from Seraphine, and it'll be taken down. Benthonic has his third kill of the game, and Daisy doing her best to try to slap some kids down, but it just doesn't matter. It's a 2,000 gold lead for FTD Hotel, and they've played this early game out really well, using the lane advantages that they have.
Yeah, and Arcanine Dan doing a really good job in both games of finding early kills for himself. 2-0-2 on the Udyr. The flash was expended there, so not the easiest gank setup unless you have something to help you going forward here, but nonetheless, they continue to apply pressure to RTM's strong lane in the mid.
Oh, Black Salt and Samso may be looking for something here. They have both of their ultimates available to chain in. Stun lanes in the mid lane force the cleanse out of Loop Tech. He's going to go in with the culling, and mid lane Hokage is still looking for this. The flat dash forward. One more auto might do it as they're looking for the bottom lane. The Senna ult just to try to get Benthonic out of there. He's so low. Samso actually gets the shutdown, finishes him off. Now Motels gets dashed through, knocked back. Oh, doesn't quite trade that one back. It's a double kill for Samso. That's a really good play for ROTM.
Yeah, and mid lane Hokage is also able to find his way out. I was kind of worried with that Udyr coming in there that he may end up dying, but really good play there from RTM, picking up 2 kills in the bottom lane, and that's super big because if Kai'Sa can get to her first item completed, that's really big for her.
Ooh, that last boomerang from Tendy's probably made that trade go in his favor. About to get Mega, he could maybe look for this. You can tell he's just not as aggressive because he doesn't know the champion as well, like the breakpoints. But he's got his Iron Spike Whip finished up. He's in pretty good business. Like, he's headed for that Stride Breaker, and once he hits that, that'll be a pretty nice Power Spike to play around. Dragon is up. It has been up for a little bit, and neither team has paid a huge amount of attention to it.
Yeah, Lucian getting the blue buff, making a roam towards top lane, but Tendi saw the blast or the vision cone, so not much to say about that one. Both teams kind of hovering around the dragon pit right now, but I think FTD Hotel with Aikedo back in base has the
They have to
advantage
be
here. They're
careful.
going to look for a play on
Samso's going to get
Kaisa.
dove in the bottom lane. I'm forced to use the flash away from the Encore, but he lived, importantly, and now they might be surrounded. Stun going to land in onto Motel's. Black Salt jumps in, looking for it, finds another stun onto Benthonic. Can they actually layer in any of this CC? It looks like FTD Hotel able to get out.
Yeah, that was a nice attempt
that
there
Gnar.
from Black Salt.
That was really weird. All right. The Gnar missed the turret, which just was fired at a little bit of the wrong angle, but then Draga came back in with the body slam right into the wallop of Tendies and actually interrupted the rest of his body slam, which I didn't know. But now Culling coming through, and Draga will finish him off with the explosive cask. And how in the world did ROTM get that dragon? All right, well. Ooh. Stun gonna land onto Motels. The damage coming through. Mid lane Hokage.
Ooh. Really well played Q there at the end. Knew that the damage wasn't going to be quite enough, so goes ahead, steps up under tower and drops that last ball right on the head of Mortels on the Senna and picks up a kill for himself. So the dragon and then a converted kill here. They're going to try to get some damage down as well.
Oops, stun gonna land on Arcanine Dan. I don't think that they can dive in this situation, and Aikedo had already pieced out, head back to his top side. But now some of these mythic items going to be coming through, and mid lane Hokage is just going to get stronger and stronger. He's had a really good game for himself so far. We'll see if he can continue that. Kraken Slayer going to be the pick for Samso, actually not going for the Gale Force this game.
Yeah, that is interesting. I know Gale Force is kind of the primordial ADC item.
Primordial?
And Primordial. I think that works, right?
Kind of.
All right. I'll have to look it up after just to make sure. But
I think you wanted Premier. But
Premier.
I
yeah.
like Primordial.
That would work better. Regardless, Gragas is getting a little tanky. He's got Bomby Cinder after going for the Seeker's Arm Guard. So kind of surprised to see that, but we're going to see another gank on top.
Yeah, another gank on top is... Oh, he was scared by the teleport. I was like, why is he running away? But mid lane Hokage uses his teleport to save Tendies from what should have been a very sure death on that gank. Even going to throw the Unleashed Power into Draga. And yeah, that's a really good teleport to help save his top laner and continue that scaling going on.
I can confirm Primordial was not what I thought it was. So not the word to use there. Can you mute the stream again so that doesn't happen, or?
What? Oh, the Primordial? I thought something had happened. I was really worried.
No.
Okay.
I was just hoping that we forget that one. But
I mean, it could be like Gale Force could have existed before AD Carries did, right? It was.
But having it be one of the newest items does not really support that. So. We see a gank onto the bot lane here.
Yeah, gank onto the bottom lane. Here comes Arcanine Dan. Flash slap onto Samso. He's a fast little bear, but getting CC'd out. A lot of damage coming through. Daisy isn't quite able to finish that one off. We're counting on Daisy. Oh, that was a good root collar, but Motel's not in any particular danger. They're waiting on mid lane Hokage to try to make this a 4v4. Maybe look for the reinitiation then. They have a pretty good wave built up right now. Just have to be careful about Lucian intercepting. I don't care about this. Stop showing me top lane. I want to see what's happening bottom. Okay, nothing's actually happening bottom. We're fine. Directed camera sometimes. You have to have words with it. It doesn't always listen, though.
It is really funny to watch these bot fights, because it's just, especially when Aikedo's down here, it's like, who can shield the other person better? That's the thing that wins is... Does Seraphine Senna win, or does Aikedo and his shields win? So,
yeah, Tendies 0-2 this game, but out to a 40 CS lead. He's actually going to take this first turret, so he'll be in a pretty strong position. Really want to see some of his Gnar team fighting chops as Lubtech comes forward with the dash on the Gale Force. That one didn't go through a counter strike, just a little bit of damage on the Hokage.
Yeah, I mean, even though Tendies was behind, he died in a solo kill first and then to a gank from the Lucian. But he's putting down so much pressure that it's just so hard for Gragas to really do anything, and that pressure nets him a tower. So RTM already swarming up here for this third dragon, which would put them on soul point if they can get it. Gnar already making his way down there, so...
Is Tendies building a tank item? Is that legal?
Oh no. Oh no.
Did they swap him
Mom,
out in
get the
between
soap
games?
bar.
Yeah, I'm concerned. That's a winged moon plate that he has built, and that only builds into tank items, right?
I believe so.
Is it?
I think it's just Deadman's, if I'm not mistaken.
Deadman's is a weird item.
It is now, yeah. Especially the build path.
Well, I'm curious why he wouldn't be going. Anyway, Black Salt gonna get the initiation. Big Magnet Storm as he gets a couple of stuns through onto Benthonic. They're warded off a little bit by the Encore, but here's Tendies. He's real angry. Not gonna be able to pull the trigger though. They're back onto the Dragon. Tendies is Mega Form on the side. Can still look for that engage if he wants to dive in. Black Salt gets a stun, gets a couple, but he is taken down as Lubtech able to get the culling through. Tendies throws a couple of them into the wall. It's the Dragon is stolen by FTD Hotel, and now they have to kite back away. It's a double kill already for Lucian. The root gonna land on the mid lane Hokage, and they're forced to abandon him. It's 3 kills in the Dragon for FTD.
Yeah, and I think if RTM was just a little bit better coordinated off of Gnar's engage there, maybe follow it with a Cinder Stun or something like that, they might have been able to win that fight, but actually get neither objective there. They don't win the fight, and they don't win the Dragon, so disastrous for RTM, already behind here, and that's going to mean that they get the bot lane tower as well. So FTD Hotel finding a play out of nothing there, and take a big lead here in this game.
Anyway, I'm curious why Tendies wouldn't be going for like Sterix Gargoyle. That's just they're really good together right now, and it's more shields, which the enemy team doesn't have an answer for, but you do because you have Rel. Anyway, couple more towers going down. All 3 of the outer towers now completed by FTD Hotel. They've got a 4,500 gold advantage and a 5 kill advantage. We'll see if RTM can play their way back out. I think you really need to be looking at some power spikes. The big difference right now is mid lane Hokage is on the Bits of Everything build, and Lubtech is so strong. He has the completed Essence Reaver and Gale Force on the Lucian.
Yeah, and that's just going to be really hard to deal with. RTM just needs to play safe, wait for these item breakpoints to come in to get back in this game, and look to fight around where they have numbers advantages.
They have to be careful here though, as Arcanine Dan hanging around the side. Just gonna take a trip through the jungle. Mid lane Hokage has to be careful. Okay, they spotted him on a ward, I think. There's some pings on him. But yeah, also with the kills that Drago was able to pick up in that fight, I kind of wonder if Tendies even wins this isolated 1v1 anymore. They're looking for the engage. Arcanine Dan gets pulled in by the Magnet Storm. Just going to be the disengage, though, as Tendies doing pretty well in the 1v1. I'll take it. He did burn his ult, though.
Yeah, but burning Gnarl is just like an extra ability when you're Mega, because of all the cooldown buffs that they gave to it, it's like a 30 or 40 second cooldown. You can see it should. You can watch the timer just go clear. Yeah. So fast.
It's basically
every time you go Mega,
it's
done.
Yeah.
Yeah. So not bad to just use it to get some extra damage at all. It does look like it's going to be that Deadman's plate for Tendies there.
Ooh, Black Salt. I don't know if he was looking for an engage or just gets caught along the side. Arcanine Dan just kind of walks directly into Daisy. That's a big knockup from Daisy, but can't really capitalize on that one. They have to be careful, though, as Lubtech is collapsing from the top. And right now, FTD Hotel has the stronger members on the map. Even Draga is here. So it's the 5-man squad already grouped up in mid lane. Tendies is split pushing bottom. They need mid lane Hokage here potentially to wave clear, but doesn't look like Feed the Dream going to be able to pick up anything right now. And they lose the bottom lane towers. So that's honestly a nice little sequence for RTM.
Yeah, well defended there by ROTM, able to just let Tendies get that bottom lane tower pretty much for free there. And now we're starting to see some of those item breakpoints come in. Mid lane Hokage go ahead and pick up the Luden's Echo there. And now you can maybe start to look to play for some of those fights to get yourself back in the game. There's a lot of shutdowns that are available on the top side of the map for FTD Hotel. Maybe looking to get one of those onto your carries would be a good place to start for RTM to get back in this game.
I'm going to blow your mind. It's not called Luden's Echo anymore.
What are they doing to me?
I don't.
Luden's Tempest.
Yeah.
Wait, and I bet there's a new name for the Ord item, right? Or is that not working?
It's Eye of Luden.
Wow.
Yeah.
What was the old Luden's upgrade?
Luden's Pulse, I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
Like
well, anyway, we're going to see teams position for this 4th dragon.
Stun used by mid lane Hokage. Not the longest cooldown, but still trying to punish this Gragas for pretty much nothing. Zanya's Hourglass is completed for him, so have to be really careful about how you play this. Dragon is started up by ROTM this time. Arcanine Dan goes for the flash stun onto mid lane Hokage. He's able to get out, has the stun back. Huge engage from Black Salt into the Gnar from Tendies. They've got 1-for-1 so far. The Dragon is still alive. Oh, the Dragon, yes, completely reset. Daisy, the sole fighter on the front line. Tendies trying to get in, looking for anything. Can ROTM kite this one back out? Motels is still very strong on the backside, and it looks like they've got the power position on the Dragon. They've got the better health bars now. Samso's still holding onto that Killer Instinct, is the only ultimate available on the map right now. Big stun onto Motels now as he's starting to finally get chunked through.
Yeah, and there's no jungle for FTD Hotel, so they just kind of have to wait this out and prevent RTM from doing it, but they're getting chunked in the process.
Oh, they already take down the Seraphine. Lubtech over the wall. Finds the trade kill onto Samso. Draga's low, but taken out. Oh no, Samso's still alive. He went in with a Killer Instinct, and it's Tendies and Samso that come out alive. It's not an ace as Arcanine Dan is just wheeling his way in. They have to burn this so fast. Here comes the Udyr. He's got the Blast Cone. He's going to get in. Oh no, it's disaster if they take this. He's narred into the wall. He smites it. Arcanine Dan has stolen 2 dragons this game, and he might be able to get out. Gets slowed by the house. Do they have the follow-up? The Void Seeker, he's out of there. Udyr is so
just
broken.
So fast and tanky, able to get out of there with the dragon. RTM does get the fight though, and they help break that gold lead up that FTD Hotel had. So maybe not the worst, maybe not the best, but I think RTM will take it, being the team that's behind here.
Yeah, you absolutely cannot give up Mountain Soul, though, to this team, so really have to be careful about the next 2 dragons. So far, Arcanine Dan with 2 really good steals, and we'll see if he can continue winning. I mean, one has been a smite battle. He had the smite battle on Baron earlier, but it seems like he's doing pretty well for himself in the smiting department.
Yeah, playing very well. And he had a good first game as well, especially in that early game, even though they didn't get the win. Playing super well on this Udyr pick. Kind of show you why they banned it in game 1, because they did not want it to go over to ROTM, but performing super well on the pick.
Yeah. Importantly, though, our team has closed that gold gap back, only about 1,500 now. We're behind as much as 5,000 earlier, so we'll see if they can find another fight that they need to be that big equalizer. It was really played well by mid lane Hokage and Tendies, or Samso, excuse me.
Right.
Was, I think, the star of the show, flying in with that Killer Instinct, able to play cleanup duty on the re-engage.
Yeah, and a lot of those kills went over to him, getting the triple kill. Now 5-2-2 on the Kaisa. That's really nice if you're RTM, especially with Gnar building more tanky. It's nice to see that you've got the carries and the gold on the carries specifically.
Yeah, now the Runan's Hurricane finished up is, you know, good to help with the AoE damage. I don't know why I'm drawing so many blanks today. I'm sorry. But now both teams playing around the Baron Pit. Ooh, I like Looptech has the Mercurial Scimitar, so he's got Cleanse and the Mercurial, so he's going to be very difficult to catch in any of these fights.
The classic watch top laners brawl and do nothing. That's usually how the spectator goes.
Yeah, anywhere the damage is being done is inherently more interesting, I guess. Motels is huge, by the way. He's got the rapid fire cannon now to go with his other 2 items, and that Senna's gonna slap if left alone in this next fight. But you can see FTD Hotel getting a little bit better vision control. They're diving in a little bit deeper on this Baron, and ROTM can't really step up and contest super easily, especially without Tendies.
I do really like this pickup of the QSS from Samso. They really only have one really good engage.
Looptech, it's the ADC duel. Couple more autos, he wins it. Samso with the solo kill. Teleport in from Tendies just to make sure that nothing else had happened. But that's huge. What a win for Samso. And now they'll be able to start up the Baron. Samso, I guess, has enough lifesteal to be able to heal up off of this. What is FTD Hotel going to do? It looks like running down mid right now. In comes the Udyr. He's had good luck on these smite fights so far. Tendies is trying to zone him off with the boomerangs on the back of the pit. It's down to 2,000 health. He's nowhere close. It's going to be secured by ROTM. They'll get the Baron off of the back of a Samso solo kill in the top lane.
Yeah, that was really well played there. Super close with the Senna ult coming in, but just enough damage for Samso to be able to pull that off. And I really like that ROTM has adapted to playing around these objectives quite a bit better. Their Tendies deciding to zone Arcanine Dan from even getting close to the pit after he's had so many steals in this series. ROTM playing that a lot better, picks it up for themselves, and they're gonna go for this Drake. Big dragon here, because if you start stacking these mountain drakes, it's going to be really, really hard with all of the shielding to take down FTD's team comp.
Yeah, kind of unfortunate that it's so quick after the Baron, because our team hasn't had a chance to set up any of these waves, and as a result, it's going to be a hectic fight, I think, for this dragon. Bot wave is shoving for RTM mid wave and top wave, both in favor of FTD Hotels. So Dragon started up. It's being burned so quickly. Samso does 1 billion damage, and it's already gone. Tendies is in, not quite able to find that Gnar into the wall. We'll hit him with the house just to try to make sure that they can't follow up. And that's thievery from Samso and Ikado.
Yeah, it was just basically 2 members hitting that dragon, and it just burns without Udyr being able to do anything, even with the flash up. Just not able to get in there quite fast enough. But RTM now with the Baron buff and that dragon take is going to look to get this mid lane tower, and they're going to get it.
And they have the gold lead for the first time in quite a while in this game. Cannon buffing up the minions now. We'll see if they can find an engage if they're looking for it. Explosive Cast going to try to blow Ivern back into the team. They find Arcanine Dan. He's low. He's able to get out, but Tendies is over the wall. He has his Gnar available. Gets snared up. A lot of damage coming through. Flips a couple into the wall. Knock up. Samso into the back line. Trying to auto attack. Benthonic is down. He's found 4 kills. It's all over in a flash. ROTM pulls the trigger on that engage. The little tiny wall on the side is able to clip the big stun on the Gnar, chained into the Black Salt combo, and that's going to be the game and the series for ROTM.
Yeah, and just when I thought Tendies was going to flash out there, he flashes in and just lands a great engage. And the carries for RTM able to just obliterate that fight. played so well there by ROTM. A nice comeback victory.
Yeah, what a game for ROTM, and it's not the traditional ways. It's not the Tendies diff. It was mid lane Hokage in the early game, and Samso coming in so clutch in those fights. Uh, yeah, just really well played by the individual members of ROTM. I'm really happy to see that it's not just the one string in their bow, and they secure the win. They improved to 3-1 on the year. Uh, yeah, I'm at a little loss for words, honestly, after the end of that game. Uh, but congratulations to the boys. They pull out up to 3-1 now, and they need a single game win against Michigan tomorrow night in order to secure their playoff spot. If they win the series against University of Michigan, they have a chance at that number one seed, just pending some weird tiebreakers and things that can happen. Whew. All right. Um. Yeah. Any final words, Lane?
Yeah, a really nice series there from RTM. Very dominant one in the first game, and then a nice comeback win here. They get their first 2-0 series of the tournament so far. Them in a really good spot to make playoffs tomorrow. Just really proud of the guys, and it was a fun series.
Yeah, well, we'll try to have everything ready slightly beforehand. Won't be muted for game one tomorrow. But look forward to that tomorrow night, 7 p.m. here on the same stream. I'm going to have Scattercat casting with me. It'll be his debut Return of the Middlesticks cast, so that should be some fun. Um, so yeah, look forward to that 7 p.m. same bat channel. Um, yeah, I don't have anything else to say. Thank you guys for watching. If you're here and you don't follow the stream, please hit that follow button as it does help us out. We're very close to 100 followers. That's crazy, considering we started streaming what, just a year ago, a little under a year ago now.
Hmm. Yep.
Um, so yeah, thank you all so much for the support, and hopefully, again, the new emotes finally came through. I can announce that on the stream, so you can spam your tendies diff, you can spam your coggers. Uh, we're working on a couple of other really cool things. So thanks for sticking with us, and we'll see you guys soon. Anyone? I'm gonna raid Legends, I guess. Why not? Go watch this Legends game. I don't know what's happening on it, but it should be a banger. All right, they're rated. Oh, we even got a shout out on their stream. Oh, I've never been in their chat as Middlesticks before. I have 300 channel points.
Well, you got a couple.
Well, you get 300 for following. I followed all the leagues that you're
Oh,
in.
that's
So
it then.